Hello, everyone. Nolan West here. I've been wondering, is journalism and mass media dead? I'm not sure, but the big news networks have not grown into the 21st century very well. Not too long ago, Americans trusted the media. As recently as 1999, 55% of Americans said they trusted mass media to deliver the news accurately, which sounds funny today almost. I mean, but it's been steadily declining ever since, to a low of 32% in 2016. Trust in the media is low and getting lower. But what happened? With the dawn of the internet, virtually everything in news media changed. Now, reporting is expected to be on 24 hours every day, nonstop. Primetime hours are dominated by opinion news rather than objective reporting. And as a result, people are now getting their news from social media, where self-reinforcing echo chambers drown out any sense of nuance whatsoever. The 24-hour news cycle has completely changed the priority of news corporations. Their chief concern is no longer objective reporting or reporting news accurately, but they're desperately trying to break the story before one of their competitors does, leaving fact-checking completely in the dust. And if a story turns out to be false, they can just air a correction because they know they'll still get the benefit of breaking the story first, but the correction won't really matter because nobody sees the correction. They see the breaking story. The nonstop stream of 24-hour news has numbed the public to what's actually going on in the world. The big networks all report the same general stories, but each one tries to one-up another with a more partisan and sensationalistic take. I mean, 75% decrease in violent crime over the last decade doesn't get reported, but the latest gaffe of a politician, whoever it may be, gets reported all the time because it makes for better television. This pursuit of good TV over objective news has remade all major news networks. Every news network from Fox News to MSNBC is barely recognizable from what it was just decades ago. And starting in the early 2000s, programming shifted from objective news reporting to opinion shows like the Rachel Maddow show on MSNBC or Hannity on Fox News. Primetime hours used to be legendary reporters stoically delivering accurate news, and now prime time is filled with pundits and partisans spinning the news for their political team, and we're not learning anything. We're just getting spin. And the rise of opinion news stems from the network's sinking viewership, really. MSNBC, CNN, Fox News have all steadily lost younger viewers in particular. And rather than trying to rebuild trust with these viewers, the networks have doubled down on their opinion news model. They focus on outrage stories targeted towards whatever niche they're going for. And this focus on opinions over real news might be good for their ratings short term, maybe. But people have started to get their news from social media rather than the big networks. It's kind of sad that trust in the media has gotten so bad that people trust their crazy uncle more than they trust a network anchor. The prevalence of social media in our lives has fundamentally changed our society, no doubt. In the past, you had to make do with your own neighborhood. You had to learn to tolerate the views of people who happen to live close to you. But now you can form communities with people around the world without stepping outside your own home, which is both a beautiful and horrifying thing. Rather than learning to put up with your neighbor with an imposing viewpoint, you can go online and find thousands of people who agree with you. This has warped how many people, especially younger generations, see the world. They exist inside their own echo chamber that reinforces their beliefs while completely demonizing all others. And when they see something in the real world that conflicts with their worldview, they recoil and lash out instead of engaging with it civilly. And this has created these crazy fringe groups on both sides of the political spectrum, made up of people who can't tolerate dissent, which is just scary. And they air their grievances within their little groups. And the echo chamber amplifies these tiny voices into a deafening roar that everybody hears about and thinks is what people think, but it's just these tiny groups. And despite how tiny these groups are, I mean, they're an extreme minority of the population, they've become the news media's target demographic somehow. And they're operating as if they can keep these groups engaged, they can count on their viewership for years to come. And in addition, these groups furiously share the news content that aligns perfectly with their worldview on Facebook and Twitter, which has created this perverse symbiotic relationship between these opinion news networks and these fringe groups. The loss of public trust in the news media isn't necessarily permanent, but unless the big networks change, they will be relegated to obscurity. I mean, already YouTube personalities are dwarfing the viewership of big networks. For example, the Joe Rogan show has over double the viewership of Hannity on Fox News. And Hannity is the most watched cable news show. People no longer need to consume what the networks are selling. They can find the same opinion content if that's what they're after. But YouTube also has become a place where objective news can thrive again. Philip DeFranco, who actually inspired me to do this, he runs a news show on YouTube that focuses on objective news. His show covers the major stories of the day from both sides of the issues, and he has over 6.4 million subscribers. There is a market for objective news reporting, and the only way to bring it back is to create a demand for it. Opinion news grew out of a demand for partisan news. Now we need to demand real news again because the only thing we can trust is that news corporations will go where the money is. So this is all to say that journalism and mass media isn't dead. It's just not on TV anymore. And if we want real news, we have to demand it. Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like and share it. And if you feel like I missed something or you have any questions or comments, go ahead and comment that below. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.